Admiral Ji-1 Park stood at the large window of the Seoul Space Command Center, his hands clasped behind his back. The morning had started like any other Tuesday with his usual cup of green tea and the daily security reports. Now, everything had changed. The massive screen in front of him showed thousands of strange ships appearing near Jupiter. They had simply appeared there, breaking every law of physics that humans understood. The ships were beautiful in a way, their silver hulls shining in the distant sunlight. "Admiral, we're getting a transmission," said Captain Tae-sung, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "It's being broadcast on all frequencies in perfect Korean." Ji-1 turned away from the window. The control room was filled with military personnel, all looking at their screens with worried faces. Some were making phone calls, while others were typing quickly on their keyboards. "Put it on the main screen," Ji-1 ordered. The image that appeared made him catch his breath. The alien looked almost human, but its skin was a pale blue, and its eyes were twice the size of a human's. It wore what looked like a military uniform, covered in strange symbols. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in a deep voice. "I am Supreme Commander of the Galactic Confederation. Your planet has been chosen to join our empire. Your resources will serve the greater good of the galaxy. Resist, and we will destroy your civilization." Ji-1 felt his heart beat faster, but his face remained calm. 25 years in the Korean Navy had taught him to control his emotions. "They're scanning our military bases," reported Lieutenant Hae-yun, looking up from her computer. "They can see our aircraft, tanks, and space satellites." The alien commander's voice continued. "We have analyzed your military capability. Your weapons are primitive. You still use nuclear power. You hide ships under your oceans. Such outdated methods will not help you against our advanced technology." Ji-1 allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had made their first mistake. They had dismissed humanity's submarine fleet as outdated and worthless. "Send an alert to all naval bases," he ordered quietly. "Tell them to move all submarines to deep water positions and get me a secure line to the president." As his staff rushed to follow his orders, Ji-1 thought about the submarine fleet. The aliens didn't know that Earth's nations had never stopped improving their submarines. Behind their old-fashioned nuclear engines and steel hulls, these vessels carry technology that would surprise even these advanced aliens. "Sir," Captain Tae-sung called out, "the alien fleet is moving. They'll reach Earth's orbit in 3 days." Ji-1 nodded. 3 days. They had 3 days to prepare Earth's defense. And while the aliens looked down at Earth's oceans with contempt, humanity's best weapons were already disappearing into the deep, dark waters of the Pacific. "Send a message to all submarine commanders," Ji-1 said. "Tell them to prepare for Operation Deep Guard. It's time to show these aliens why humans never abandoned submarine warfare." The room buzzed with activity as his orders were carried out. Above them, the alien ships continued their approach, unaware that Earth's greatest defense lay not in its skies, but in its oceans. Captain Tae-sung Kim stood in the control room of the ROKS Silent Thunder, 300 meters beneath the Pacific Ocean. The nuclear submarine's engines hummed quietly, a sound that had become as familiar to him as his own heartbeat over the past 15 years. "Status report," he ordered, his voice calm despite the gravity of their situation. Lieutenant Hae-yun Lee looked up from her tactical station. "All systems are running silent, Captain. The new quantum sensors are working perfectly. We can see everything, but they can't see us." The Silent Thunder was not the outdated vessel the aliens thought it was. Behind its traditional nuclear power plant and steel hull, the submarine carried technology that would have seemed like magic just 10 years ago. Its sensors could detect the smallest changes in ocean currents, and its skin could change color like an octopus to blend with the surrounding water. "Message from command," announced the communications officer. "The alien fleet has passed Mars. They'll be here in 2 days." Tae-sung walked to the large screen showing their position. Scattered across the world's oceans, dozens of dots represented other submarines from navies around the world. Each one carried enough firepower to destroy a small city. "Lieutenant Haeyun," he called, "show me your defense strategy again." Haeyun touched her screen, and a new image appeared. It showed Earth's oceans divided into sectors, with submarines positioned at different depths. "The aliens think in 2 dimensions, sir," she explained. "They fight their battles in the flat emptiness of space. But the ocean is different. We can attack from above, below, or any angle in between." Tae-sung nodded. The plan was clever. While the aliens watched the sky, Earth's submarines would use the ocean's complex layers of temperature and salt content to hide their movements. "New contact," called out the sonar operator. Something big just entered the water near Japan. Everyone tensed, but Tae-sung remained calm. "Show me," he ordered. The screen displayed a massive alien vessel, shaped like a needle, trying to penetrate the ocean surface. But something was wrong. The alien ship's movements were jerky and uncertain. "They don't understand our oceans," Haeyun said, excitement in her voice. "Look at how they're struggling with the pressure changes. They've never fought in an environment like this." Tae-sung allowed himself a small smile. The aliens' advanced technology, designed for the emptiness of space, was being confused by Earth's oceans. Every current, every temperature layer, every change in salt content created false readings on their sensors. "Send this data to all fleet captains," he ordered. "They need to see this weakness, and prepare a full analysis for Admiral Ju-won. It's time to show these aliens that sometimes the old ways are the best ways." As his crew hurried to follow his orders, Tae-sung thought about the battles to come. The aliens might mock Earth's primitive submarines, but they would soon learn a hard lesson about underestimating human ingenuity. Deep beneath the waves, Earth's hidden fleet was ready for war. Commander Sun Le-choi watched the alien ships through her periscope. From her position deep in the Atlantic Ocean, the massive vessels looked like dark shadows against the bright sky. The ROKS Ocean Shadow, her submarine, stayed perfectly still in the cold waters. "All submarines report ready," whispered her communications officer. Around the world, 50 nuclear submarines waited in position. Each one carried special torpedoes designed to work in both water and air. Sun Le lowered the periscope and turned to her crew. "The aliens think our submarines are old and useless. Today, we prove them wrong. Begin Operation First Strike." The Ocean Shadow's engines came to life, so quiet that even fish swimming nearby couldn't hear them. The submarine moved forward, climbing to a better attack position. Above them, alien ships continued their patrol, unaware of the danger below. "Target locked," reported the weapons officer. "First alien ship is in range. Their shield systems are active." Sun Le nodded. The aliens were proud of their energy shields, which could stop any laser or plasma weapon. But they had never faced Earth's special torpedoes. These weapons used simple physics, mass, and speed, combined with new technology that let them pass from water to air without losing power. "All submarines, fire when ready," Sun Le ordered through the secure communication system. She watched her screen as 50 dots began moving upward from the ocean depths. The first torpedo hit caught the aliens completely by surprise. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons, did nothing against solid objects moving at high speed. The alien ship's hull cracked like an egg. "Multiple hits confirmed," called out the sensor officer. "Enemy ships are taking heavy damage. They're trying to locate us, but their sensors can't penetrate the thermal layers." Sun Le allowed herself a small smile. The ocean's natural temperature layers were confusing the alien sensors. To them, it must have seemed like the torpedoes were appearing from nowhere. "Second wave, prepare to launch," she ordered. "Target their engine sections." More torpedoes streaked upward. The aliens were trying to fight back now, firing energy weapons into the water. But the beams scattered in the ocean, becoming harmless before they could reach the submarines. "Enemy fleet is breaking formation," reported the tactical officer. "They're trying to move away from the water." But it was too late. The coordinated attack had worked perfectly. 15 alien ships were already sinking, their advanced technology useless against simple physics and human planning. Sunmai sent a message to Admiral J1. First strike successful. The alien shields cannot stop our torpedoes, requesting permission to continue the attack. The response came quickly. Permission granted. Show them why Earth's submarines are the most feared weapons in our arsenal. As her crew prepared for another attack, Sunmai thought about how wrong the aliens had been. They had called Earth's submarines primitive. Now they were learning that sometimes the old ways were the most effective. High Commander Do-hyun Kang paced in his command room aboard the alien flagship. The massive view screen showed the damage reports from Earth's first strike. 15 ships lost, and more damage. As the only human working with the Confederation, he felt both shame and pride at his species' clever defense. "These submarines must be destroyed," said the alien admiral, his large eyes narrowing. "Your oceans cannot hide them forever." Do-hyun looked at the complex data on his screen. "The problem is bigger than you think, Admiral. Earth's oceans are not like space. They have layers of different temperatures. They have currents that move in strange patterns. Your sensors, designed for space, cannot handle these conditions." In the command center below, Chief Engineer Yoon-ho Park worked with his team to solve this problem. He had joined the alien side believing their technology was superior. Now, he watched as their advanced sensors failed to find even one submarine. "Send in the deep water probes," ordered the alien admiral. "We will find these primitive vessels." The probes entered the water. At first, they seemed to work well. Then, one by one, they began to fail. The pressure crushed some. Ocean currents confused others. The rest sent back false readings, seeing submarines where there were only whales. "Impossible," muttered the alien admiral. "How can your simple water defeat our technology?" Do-hyun explained. "Our oceans are not simple. They are complex systems that we have studied for centuries. Our submarines are designed to work with these systems, not against them." On his private screen, Do-hyun watched another alien ship sink, hit by torpedoes from an unseen submarine. The aliens had tried to adapt their shields, making them solid instead of energy-based, but this only made them heavier and slower. "Perhaps we should consider a different approach," Do-hyun suggested carefully. "If we cannot fight them in their element, we should try to draw them out." The alien admiral turned to him with interest. "What do you suggest?" "We target their bases on land," Do-hyun said. "Force them to surface to defend their cities." But even as he spoke, Do-hyun knew this plan would fail. The submarine commanders would not fall for such an obvious trap. They would find a way to strike back while staying hidden in their underwater fortress. In the engineering section, Yoon-ho looked at his latest sensor readings with growing concern. The submarines were not just hiding now. They were actively using the ocean against the alien fleet. Temperature changes confused sensors. Salt layers blocked scans. Every attempt to find them only showed how well humans understood their oceans. The aliens had come to Earth believing their advanced technology made them invincible. Now they were learning a hard lesson about the difference between advancement and adaptation. Admiral Ji-won Park stood in the underwater command center, studying the world map on the large screen. Blue dots showed the positions of Earth's submarines, while red marks indicated damaged or destroyed alien ships. The sight filled him with quiet pride. "Report from the Pacific Fleet, sir," said his aide. "Captain Min Ji-song has successfully destroyed 3 alien supply ships using the new Wolf Pack tactics." Ji-won nodded with approval. The Wolf Pack strategy was as old as submarine warfare itself, but Min-ji had adapted it for modern combat. Her submarines worked in groups of 3, attacking from different depths and directions. The aliens couldn't defend against attacks they couldn't see coming. "Show me the Pacific Fleet's formation," Ji-won ordered. The screen changed to show 12 submarines moving in perfect coordination. They used the ocean currents like underwater highways, letting the water carry them silently toward their targets. Message from Captain Min-ji. the communications officer announced. The aliens are trying to copy our submarine design. They've launched their own underwater vessels. Jaiwan watched as the alien submarines entered the water. They were beautiful ships made of strange metals that glowed in the dark ocean. But within hours, 3 of them had been destroyed. They didn't understand how to move with the ocean currents, and their bright hulls made them easy targets. They still don't understand, Jaiwan said quietly. Our submarines aren't effective because of their technology. They're effective because we understand the ocean. The next report came from the Atlantic Fleet. Commander Sunmi's submarines had cut off the aliens' main supply line. Without supplies, the alien ships in orbit couldn't maintain their energy shields. Sir, called out the sensor operator, the aliens are trying something new. They're using energy weapons to heat the ocean, trying to disrupt our thermal layers. Jaiwan almost laughed. Heating the ocean only created more currents and temperature layers, giving his submarines more places to hide. The aliens were actually making their job easier. Send word to all fleet commanders, he ordered. Continue with the planned attacks. Show them that Earth's oceans are our strongest ally. Around the world, submarine commanders received their orders. In the Indian Ocean, Arctic Sea, and both Atlantic and Pacific, submarines moved into attack positions. The aliens had called them primitive, but every passing hour proved how wrong they had been. Jaiwan thought about how much the world had changed in just a few days. Humanity, faced with an advanced alien threat, had found its strength in something the aliens considered obsolete. The oceans, Earth's ancient battleground, had become humanity's greatest defense. Lieutenant Hae-Yun Lee stood at her tactical station aboard the Silent Thunder, reviewing the final details of Operation Deep Strike. After weeks of planning, the time had come to end this war. Every submarine in Earth's combined fleet would participate in this attack. All submarines report ready, Lieutenant, Captain Tae-sung said from his command chair. Show us the plan one last time. Hae-Yun touched her screen, bringing up the tactical display. The alien command ships are positioned here, here, and here, she said, pointing to 3 locations above the Pacific Ocean. They think they're safe in high orbit, but they're wrong. The plan was bold but simple. Earth's submarines have been secretly positioning themselves in a complex 3-dimensional grid throughout the world's oceans. Each vessel carried new torpedoes designed to reach orbit. Message from Admiral Ji-won, the communications officer announced. Operation Deep Strike begins in 10 minutes. Captain Ta-sung looked at his crew. Remember your training. The aliens still haven't learned to track multiple threats from different depths. That will be their final mistake. The minutes passed slowly. Hae-Yun watched the countdown on her screen, her heart beating faster with each second. The entire war would be decided in the next hour. Launch time, Captain Ta-sung announced calmly. All submarines, begin your attack runs. The Silent Thunder moved forward, riding a deep ocean current that masked its approach. Above them, other submarines positioned themselves at different depths, creating layers of attack positions. First wave, launch torpedoes, Hae-Yun ordered into her communications system. Across the world's oceans, hundreds of specially designed torpedoes shot upward toward space. The aliens detected the first wave too late. Their ships tried to raise shields, but the torpedoes came from too many directions. 20 alien vessels disappeared in bright explosions. Second wave, launch, Captain Tae-sung commanded. More torpedoes streaked upward, using the confusion of the first attack as cover. The alien fleet broke formation, trying to escape the unexpected assault. But Hae-Yun had planned for this. The submarines launched their third wave into the aliens' escape routes. Direct hit on the main command ship, reported the sensor officer. Their fleet is losing coordination. Hae-Yun watched with satisfaction as her strategy worked perfectly. The aliens had never imagined that humanity's primitive submarines could reach them in orbit. Now they were paying the price for their arrogance. Final wave, launch, Captain Ta-sung ordered. The last volley of torpedoes rose from the oceans, targeting the remaining command ships. Within minutes, the mighty alien fleet had been reduced to scattered groups of damaged vessels. The silent hunters of Earth's oceans had won the war. Admiral HFY Park stood on the deck of an aircraft carrier in the Pacific Ocean, watching the sunrise. 1 month had passed since Operation Deep Strike had forced the Galactic Confederation to retreat. Now, Earth was preparing to take its place among the stars. "The last alien ship has left our solar system," reported Captain Tae-sung, walking up to join him. "Their defeat has changed everything. Other alien races are requesting meetings with Earth's leaders." Ji-won nodded, thinking about how much had changed. The Galactic Confederation had arrived believing they would find an easy target. Instead, they had discovered that sometimes the simplest technology, used cleverly, could defeat the most advanced weapons. "The Galactic Military Academy has requested our submarine warfare manuals," Tae-sung continued. "They want to understand how we defeated their best ships. Lieutenant Hae-yun has been asked to teach there." A helicopter landed on the carrier's deck, bringing more news. Commander Sun Ma-choi stepped out, carrying a data tablet. She had just returned from a meeting with representatives from 50 alien worlds. "They're calling it the Ocean Doctrine," Sun Ma reported with a smile. "Every spacefaring race is studying Earth's naval tactics. They never imagined that water could be such a powerful defense." In the carrier's command center, they watched a holographic display showing Earth's new position in galactic politics. The planet that had been dismissed as primitive was now respected as a major military power. "The Confederation's remaining ships have been modified to carry tsunami warning systems," Sun Ma added. "They learned to respect our oceans the hard way." Captain Minji's voice came over the radio from her submarine in the Atlantic. "2 alien diplomatic vessels are requesting permission to study our ocean currents. They say understanding Earth's waters is now required training for all space captains." Ji-won smiled at this news. Humanity had not only defended itself, but had also taught the galaxy a valuable lesson. Advanced technology alone did not guarantee victory. Understanding your environment and using simple tools effectively could overcome any advantage. "What happens now?" Ta-sung asked, looking at the stars that were just becoming visible in the morning sky. "Now we help build a better galaxy," Ji-won replied. "One that respects all forms of technology, not just the newest ones. Earth's submarines will patrol not just our oceans, but the space around our planet." As if to emphasize his words, a submarine surfaced nearby, its black hull gleaming in the sunlight. It represented everything that had saved Earth. Simple but effective technology, clever tactics, and humanity's deep understanding of its home world. The aliens had come to teach humanity about advanced technology. Instead, humanity had taught them about the power of wisdom over weapons.